We have choices in our profession. Imagine you are on an elevator and a stranger looks at you and asks, "What do you do for a living?" You answer, "I'm a dentist." The stranger looks away. Well, now imagine that you answered, "I transform people's lives by bringing their most beautiful smile to life." Well, that person will be engaged. I love to use this example when I'm talking to colleagues about our profession as a way to get at several important questions. How do we think about our profession? What are our strategies for growth and for the growth of the people in our practice? And the all-important question, how do we want to live our lives? Well, to begin the discussion, I'd like to share one of the highlights of my career. Do you remember the 1994 horrific genocide in Rwanda, in which 900,000 people in 100 days were killed as the Hutus revolted on their Tutsi neighbors? Well, in 2014, I went with my wife, Stacy, to Rwanda, along with Foundation Rwanda, to start our personal foundation that we called the Glow Good Foundation. The goal was to help the children who were born from the Tutsi women raped by the Hutu men. And on that trip, we were able to deliver a partial denture made from a simple alginate the year before for a woman named Agath, who had her teeth knocked out with a machete, and she lived. And when we placed the partial in her mouth, in the one dental office in Kigali, she spontaneously broke out in song. Smiles and tears running down her face. Imagine that until then, she had neither sung nor smiled and covered her face with her hand, embarrassed by the loss of her teeth. Well, that was the moment when I realized that we didn't just give back her smile, we gave back her soul. And since then, our Glow Good Foundation has committed to helping underserved populations wherever they may be. In fact, for the last 6 years, in partnership with Lenny Kravitz, we've gone to the Bahamas to help people who had no access to dental care. And then back in our office in New York City, we are committed to doing the same smile and life transforming power. The work, we call it our superpower because we've honed this skill, many of us, from years of study and learning, and especially today with our new digital technology and workflows. In fact, listen to Daryl as he is trying in his digitally designed provisionals, and he can hear how much better he sounds.
Come on, Maria, I just met a girl named Maria. Maria, I just met a girl named Maria. Oh, I can do it.
She's here. You know what?
Oh yeah, where is she?
Better.
I sound better. Suddenly, Maria.
And then in March of last year, boom, COVID hits. Though there's nothing good to say about a global pandemic that has prematurely ended so many lives, a silver, small lining eventually rose from the devastation. The complete shutdown forced our practice to stop what we were doing, and then we had the time to think about how we wanted to move forward. We were given the choice, a choice to look at our lives, both from a professional and personal standpoint. First up, how could we continue to transform people's smiles and lives despite the fear that had all of us in its grips? And could it be possible not just to survive, but to thrive and to reinvent ourselves in the face of adversity? This is nothing new. The question we must ask ourselves, how do we respond to challenges? These challenges are nothing new. For the last 10 years, the dental service organizations, DSOs, are coming to dentistry, buying up practices, taking on new approaches to marketing and advertising with their new fresh capital. Do we just try to survive doing the same old thing? Or do we get proactive and learn about digital marketing and social media and bring in the experts into our dental practices? Think about it. When Starbucks came to people's towns, some of the small coffee shops closed up. But others raised their game and improved what they did and thrived, and we can do the same thing. We like to say that it is not the problems we face, it's how we face our problems. Survival is quite simply holding on for dear life, but our team decided we wanted to emerge from the pandemic stronger than ever before. And this meant connecting with our people, letting them know that we had their backs and that we would figure this out together by reinventing ourselves. If we didn't immediately adopt a creative mindset, well, COVID-19 threatened to turn our practice and our passions upside down. And we decided right then and there, together, that we would reinvent many of the things we were doing to ensure that we lived in a safe haven, not only for our patients, but for our team. And that brings me to the power of creativity. Because when you are in a creative mindset, anything is possible, because creativity belongs to all of us. It is a monster tool we have at our disposal. All we have to do is use it. Unfortunately, through the journey of college and dental school, there is a loss of focus of creativity. And there's more of a focus of memorization and, in fact, studying by yourself. But know this, creativity is the opposite of memorization. I promise that if you adopt a creative mindset, and you'll find more solutions than ever thought or learned were possible. Because coupled with the power of collaboration, working together with a creative mindset, this is when magic happens. The next thing I'd like to hit on, as it relates to not just surviving, but thriving, is purpose. Purpose, as defined in the book Ikigai, the Japanese secret for a long and healthy life. Well, this is a Japanese concept that means a reason for being, or like the French say, raison d'être. Authors Hector Garcia and Frances Miralles tells the story of centenarians, people over 100 years of age in Okinawa, Japan. This followed Dan Buettner's famous book, Blue Zones, also documented the habits of centenarians in places like Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California. And these books had several commonalities, one of which was that to live a long and happy life, one needs a sense of purpose, our reason for being. And in Ikigai, one's purpose is the union of 4 fundamental components of life, where passion, vocation, profession, and mission all come together. In other words, what you love meets what you're good at, meets what you can be valued and paid for, meets what the world needs. Well, if this all sounds too heady, try simply asking yourself why, as Simon Sinek, author of the blockbuster book, Start With Why, would advise for the uninitiated, your why is the reference point for all your decisions and actions. It defines who you are and what makes you productive. And it's the reason for your life's work. If you are feeling overwhelmed and anxious or unfulfilled, it is likely that it is because you don't have a clear understanding of your why. Why are you doing what you do? Well, as Matthew Kelly talks about in his book, The Rhythm of Life, our why is being the best version of ourselves. And we operate from this vantage point on a daily basis. And this informs our decisions and the choices that we need to make. With creativity and purpose in mind, do you feel like you are thriving in your profession right now, especially with the extreme challenges of COVID-19? Well, I think part of the answer lies in leadership. The degree to which an organization thrives is directly dependent on its people becoming the best versions of themselves, which is directly related to our leadership and how well it inspires and defines a vision that everyone is aligned with. Another big component is the complement to our career satisfaction. This is personal satisfaction. Because the truth is, we can't have one without the other. Here's the thing. We are not one person at home, and we're not a different person at work. That means that the real goal is to be satisfied, both personally and professionally, or else you're bound to be carrying around dissatisfaction throughout your entire day. So I urge my team to get in touch with their dissatisfaction. What is making them unhappy? What's holding them back, and working on strategy to bring the joy into their lives, which they bring into the workplace. So we start together by dreaming big. And we say, when you dream big, let's dream even bigger and surround ourselves with the people we really love and trust. And yes, that is when the magic happens. So let's go through an example that ties together a creative mindset with purpose and dreaming big as a means of getting how to bring the joy into our profession. But first, we need to reframe ourselves because we are entrepreneurs. You see, as dental professionals and business owners, we are all hardworking entrepreneurs. We need to focus on defining our unique ability, what you love to do, and what you are really great at doing, as well as the abilities of those that we've honed and developed in our practice. Remind yourself that while you're being and bringing that unique ability to the table, you can't know everything. And that's where your people that you bring in with you come in, and this power of collaboration and working together. So next, let's define the who. Everyone brings their strengths. Bring the experts who help you build your team. And consider bringing in people who excel at those things to get things done. Because there are things that we do so well, but we don't love doing them. As Dan Sullivan, who has a company called Strategic Coach, says, it's the who, not the how. Because people get caught up on, how do I do something? Or how do I do this when you have a good idea or a new initiative? But the truth is, the first thing you need to ask yourself, when you do have this big idea, is who is going to help me make this happen? Well, once you've assembled your team, build a system of daily positivity, of clarity, and creativity. During COVID-19, I learned that this kind of system, and you base it on high performance habits, can be done with frequency every day. In fact, for me, I start with morning pages with a cup of coffee in my hand. I look at the day and I figure out the top 3 goals. And I also think about what I'm grateful for, because we all have so much to be grateful for. I also practice breath work. My son showed me this. And Wim Hof, who's on YouTube, and check it out, who commercialized and brought this to life, breath work, to do every morning to get ourselves ready for the day. And then I personally work out every morning to get the energy going, because energy drives everything, and I can bring it to everything I'm doing. You know, I know it sounds like a lot, but by now, for me, it has become a habit, and I get right through it, and I'm energized for it. So at the end of the day, I then journal some more, assessing the day, writing down the wins. Brandon Bouchard, High Performance Habits, a phenomenal read, really turned me on to these things. And I'm really grateful for these moments that I have, both in the morning, at the end of the day, to really feel my gratitude. So in summary, here are the takeaways. We have a choice. We can have a mindset of just surviving, or we can reinvent and reimagine, and we can thrive. It's crucial to put on our creative hats. Creativity is the opposite of all the memorization that we learned in school. In fact, we say the opposite of depression is expression. Don't depress your ideas, express yourself. Find out your why. What gives you purpose in life? The fastest way to become the best version of yourself and to inspire those around you to become the best version of themselves. Create a daily system at home and in the office that is based on high performance habits so that positivity radiates through your entire day with high energy, not just at happy hour. Because it's all about the frequency of our actions. So my final message, thanks to the strategy that I learned this past year over COVID-19, I have just passed this on to you. And I am more excited about our profession than ever before. And I've been doing it for over 30 years. But perhaps, even more important than that, I'm seeing firsthand the impact that this high energy from the whole team has on our patients' health, their well-being, their appreciation for our profession. And to that end, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce the Art of the Smile webinar series that we're going to be doing with Henry Schein. And the goal of this series is to highlight the creative mindset. Successful people from all walks of life and industries who has embraced this way of thinking of creativity, that they and their stories can help you thrive. We will share these stories with you, how they did what they did and what were the challenges they faced to get to where they are today. What gives them joy and how have they become the best versions of themselves? And we couldn't be more excited to bring this to you. Thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you next month. 5 dentists, 5 hygienists, technicians, support staff, medical personnel, nurse practitioners, clinical psychologists, dermatologists, physicians. This is what we're going to do. We're triaging up front. Registration starts first.
Give me the gloves. Let's start.
Charity begins at home. So this community is my home. My people here be able to have the care that they should have, that every human being should have. And I've been very fortunate to find partners with Dr. Levine and his wife Stacy, and they're an amazing family, the whole Glow Good team.
We would drive around in his Jeep and just ask people on the road. He would know them. and we saw that they needed the most basic care. So we teamed up our organizations, the Glow Good Foundation and Lenny's Let Love Rule.
Giving them access to dentistry, giving them access to the education about how to take better care of their oral health. We have the ability, one place at a time, to really make a difference.